Is everyone back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Favor, Olamide, are you both here?
I'm here.
Okay. What a favor. All right. So we are back to the second session. In this session, we are going to work with some data sets to see what happens when we import data sets, do some Power BI, whatever. So I'm going to share my screen now. Please, if you have any question, kindly. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. So I think we have worked with the importation. So I'm going to make sure that is faster. So this is easy for everybody. So it's just skip over this just to make it fast. Yep. So in the video, I mentioned that there is this particular feature here that we have not touched, and that's transform data. So it's actually used when it's funny because our data at the moment as it is clean, very very easy to use, ready to use, just like ready to wear. It's ready to use. But then in real life, you work with poor data, unclean data. And there was a time that I was working with the data from POS machine. So actually, do you know that point of sale actually holds data sets? Has anyone seen data from POS machine before? From a POS machine, point of sale.
No.
Oh wow, yeah. And the data from these supermarkets, the when you want to pay for those products that you buy at supermarkets, actually also come in a tabular form like this, but they can be very messy. Damn, they can be very messy. And what makes them messy is that at times, or most times, let's assume that you are working with a pharmaceutical company, and so then I was working with a research consultant company. So we consult for pharmaceutical companies like Roche, companies like Fiverr, companies like Fiverr, Pfizer, companies like GlaxoSmithKline, that's GSK. So what we then help them do is, so we go to supermarkets, not supermarkets, pharmacies, pharmaceutical stores where they sell products. So we get data from their point of sales about the products that people are buying and what quantity are the people buying. So the problem we had there is that these people use different kind of POS systems. So different kind of companies make different kind of POS systems. So the way a POS machine that maybe it's a company called DBC that makes that POS machine, the way they would code a product will be different from the way another company will code that same product. So when you now want to merge all of the data together as an analyst, then there's a problem because when you get to a particular product, the same product will be named differently from another product. We have PCM 500 gram. Some other company might name it paracetamol 500 gram. Another one will name it PC 500 gram. Another one will name it PCM 5. And so different kind of naming style. So to reconcile all of those things was very, very hectic. That's one of the problems that you can have with data analysis. So When you get to that point, this transform data becomes handy because from transform data, you can work with data cleaning, clean your data, change your data structure, change the, let's say perhaps Power BI is seeing the data as categorical when it's supposed to be quantitative or numeric, then you can change that. If you're seeing it as numeric sort of categorical, you can change that. So transform data is where you do all of those. But for now, we're going to load. So that's about that. The other part is, like I said, you can easily make your dashboard very beautiful by putting different kind of templates. So one of the things I do, I think, what did I do there? No, I think I went to so for this wallpaper, I what did I use? I downloaded beautiful templates. So I went to Canva. So I use Canva a lot. So I will go to Canva, I will make good dashboard templates. So just type dashboard templates. So on Canva, you have that dashboard template. Then you can download that dashboard template. So you download that dashboard templates. Then import it to your Power BI environment. So these are the things that I do. So try that your template to Canva. What's up? What's happening here? Okay. Okay. It was designed so that I can have a design that I can add to that background. So like the one I used last week was from McKinsey. So that was how I was able to get that background. So, this guy is giving me okay. So I think I'm just done. I can just use this. I will delete all of those things that I don't need. Then I will download the image, then upload it to Power BI. So that's one of the things you can do to make your dashboard beautiful. It's not only Canva that you can do that. You can do that on normal Google and go to Google, download a very fine template, download it, then upload it to Power BI to make your environment beautiful. Sorry, my network is fast. That's issues. I'm trying to download it so that that's really give me issues. Why? Sorry, I'm trying to download this template so that I can upload it to Power BI. So I've seen a template I want to use. So this is just me playing around. So you can always use anything you want. But this is just me playing around. You can use anyone you want. Anyhow. Why don't you use it? Yes. It's clear. Meanwhile, we'll see what we get to download that. No problem. So I'm just going to snipe this image, save it, yeah, upload it to Powerbi. Why you just need this? It's just to use it as the background for my Powerbi image. Yeah. So that's what I do. So this is what I wanted to do. Sorry for taking you through that long route. So I have my data set here. Like I said, you can easily go to table view to see what the data looks like. So we go to table view, we can easily see what the data looks like. Easily go through it and see what it looks like. So, okay, so working with the customer data set. Easy. So that's about that. So the other thing I want to do is I want to bring in the payment data set also because I'm not working with customer data set. I want to work with. So, okay, this is payment. All right, so I'm going to load that also. I can load multiple tables. I can load multiple data. I can load multiple data sets. So if I go to table view, I have both customers and payments here. So I have both customers and payments here. So this is the customer table. So
Um, sorry,
I
I didn't get how you kept the picture. I didn't see how you did the picture. Canva background.
Okay, so when you click on format your report page, go to wallpaper. So let me cancel it. So I've canceled it. So click on under image, you see add file. So you just go to where you saved your file, then let's go. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I've added this data set. I've added this data set. So the next thing I want to do is to peruse the two data sets. So I'll go to table view. So if I want to see the customer data set, I'll just click on customer. I want to see the payment data set, I'll click on payment. So you can have even more than one data set. And you can add another one. Another one. I have customer and payment, so I want to see ordered items. Same way we have always added different ones. So I click on load. I'm good to go. So load the data into my environment. So if I go to table view now, you can see the three tables. I have the three tables. So I can click on payment, I can click on other items, and I can click customers. So it depended on which one I want to use out of the tables. So the one I want to use is payments. So the basic question I always want to answer with my dashboard is which payment method are we getting much revenue from? Which payment method are we getting much revenue? So, like I said, everyone is going to look at this data set and you're going to tell me the questions that you have come up with. So I've told you guys to into the data sets. Anyone that interests you, and you're going to tell me, okay, which question, this is the question I can answer with this data, and this is why, and this is how I'm inside it. So for me, the one I am interested in is this payments. And what I just want to get is which payment method are we getting the biggest data from or the biggest revenue from? And this would help us because payment method, we are actually paying for all of these platforms. So when people use bank transfer, we pay some money. For credit card transactions, we pay some money. For debit card, pay some money. For gift card, we pay some money. Mobile wallet, pay some money. PayPal, we pay some money. We just want to know, okay, which one should we focus more on? Should it be credit card? Should it be PayPal? Should we continue subscribing to all of this? Or we should just, focus on one? This is just an hypothetical statement. It's not really what real life. That's what I could achieve. So I put my background there to make my chart beautiful. Then the next thing I just want to do is I want to pick the clustered bar charts. I've said the bar charts would help us, when we have one categorical variable and one numeric variable. So that's where bar charts perform the best. So just start your work and then you start working. Notice that this guy did not fill my image does not fill the whole pane. So I can go back to that report page, go to Canva and click on fit. So if I click on this image fit, then I can click on fit so it can easily fill out. I click on fill, you can see that it's different. So it's dependent on the one you want. So that's for that, so that it can fill my dashboard. The one I was having before was not. So now I have picked the chart that I want. So let me pick clustered column charts. So cluster column means that it will be like a column. It will be zip vertical. Yeah, it will stand like a column, vertical. Yeah. So now I'm going to go to payments. So on my x-axis, because of the column chart that I have picked, so on the x-axis is where my categorical variable will be. So I'm going to drag the categorical variable. Payment type is the categorical variable here. So for this one, it's payment method. So I'm going to drag it here. Yeah, you can see that payment method is on the categorical variable. Then on the y-axis, I'm going to put my payment amount. So the amount paid, I'm going to put it here. Bam. Then I have my data. Now, please notice there's what we call legend. In when you have a data and you want to see, okay, this is that, this is that. Maybe you have multiple data tables, then you can bring your legend. Legend tells you what is what. But because we have just one color, so you don't need a legend. But when you have like multiple colors, maybe you want credit card to be red, this one to be green, this one to be white, then you need a legend to tell you which is what. But for now, we don't need a legend for this. So this is what I need. And from this, I can know that, okay, from credit card is where we are making the most money. From debit card, we are also making money, but not as much as credit card. For PayPal, they're making money. But for gift card, that's where we are making the least money. So I think we would not invest on gift card again. So we just leave our we'll just leave out gift card. If you are paying for bank transfers, perhaps we don't need to focus on that. But because we are subscribing to gift cards, so we don't need to subscribe again because we're not getting much money when people use gift cards. Or perhaps it's because gift cards only come at some points in season, so people do not really need to use it because um they only use it during what's it called? During a particular festive period. So that's why number of festive period in the years they are not much. So that's why we are not getting much of gift cards here. But because people use credit card daily, that's why we're having. So these are the possible explanations that we can give to the management. Then the next thing I want to work on is the title. So if I want to work on the title, what I just need to do is there is this pane here, format the visuals of your charts. So this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. So if I want to format anything on the x-axis, which is where I have payments method, I'll just click on x-axis. Then I can change the font. So please kindly look at the font of this payment method. If I click on Career New, you can see that it will change. You can see that the payment methods have changed. So if I click on another font size, so it's dependent on whatever it is you want. Whatever it is you want, you can like on Power BI, you can do as much as possible. So I'm formatting the x-axis. I can also format the y-axis to have the same thing so that everything will be fine on the y-axis also. So I'm going to work with the values so that everything can be use segue UI board. So you can see I'm now using the same thing for both of them. So for the title, so this title, so I can write amount paid. That's on the x-axis. You can see that I've put amount paid here. But if I don't put anything, this guy, Powerbi, would help me automatically put something, but I don't want that thing that it has put automatically. So for that, my amount paid, I also want to change the font to Arial Black. I want to increase the font. I increase the font to make it bolder. You can change the color to anything you want. You can see. And I change it to anything I want to make it in line with what I want to show. So you can see I'm working on the y-axis. If we want to go back to the x-axis, it's the same thing. Let's go to x-axis, same thing. Title, so write your title, payment method. So you can see that what was there before was something that was automatically generated. So that's why I said it's good to work on it yourself, make it beautiful yourself, do anything you want to do, change the format, change the printing, change the color, do anything you want to do. For the bars, for these bars, so what you just need to do is for the bars themselves, so they are called columns. So, like I said, it's a column chart. So we are using bar chart, they will be called bars. So the color, I want to change them to something else. So you can say I've changed them to something I love, but I don't love that. I don't like that color. This is the kind of color I like. I like the kind of colors. So as you can see, I'm changing the color to fit what I want. So now the axis title itself, I've done x-axis, y-axis, the chart title itself, the same, that format your visual. When you please note that before this format your visual for this chart will come up, you have to click it. It has to be active. That's when this you can use this. If you click out, it will not show. So you have to click it, then it will show. Then you can now start working. So for this what's it called? The chart title itself, you have to use general. Yeah. So, and then say payments method by revenue. So you can make it beautiful by changing the what's it called then. Okay, I'm going to use Cambria. So I want it to be centered also. So I'll click on center so I can be on the center. I want to change it to a good color. No, that's a bad color because it's not dark. So you can see I've changed everything. Any question? Any question?
I have a lot of questions. We're too fast.
Okay. Oh, wow. I was sorry. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry for that. So, what were your questions? So, what are your questions?
Okay,
Where did
so
I
I
lose
know
you?
the first thing that you did was the first of all imported your background, your
Yeah.
image or your background, for example. So I wanted to ask, this your background? Okay, imported it for kind of same way you can just import an image that you already saved,
Yes.
now just like how we did
Yes.
it.
Yeah. So I can go to
Okay.
Google and
Okay,
say,
the second thing.
hello?
Okay, go ahead,
Can you hear me?
please.
So I can go
I
to
can hear
Google and
you.
say I want a
Yes.
background for analysis dash board. So I run that, I go to images. I was using Canva because I like Canva. So I can just come here and look at for dashboard background. So look at anyone that I like that goes to what I want. So I can just use that. So, or I can say, I can just pick okay, let's assume that I'm working with retail, so I can say retail sales. So when I say retail sales, then I can go to images. I'm just okay. Oh wow, this is beautiful. Someone that is holding packs. Wow. Okay. Then I will download this so as to use it for my background. And I click it here, then save images. So I'll just save it in my environment so that I can use it. So save it. Oops. Please be careful. This guy will not, I will not be able to use it because it's a web file. It's not a JPEG. So I'm looking for a JPEG. It's a web file. It's not a JPEG. So let me see. Okay, now this is JPEG. Please note what I just said now. You can see that when I right click here, I wanted to use this image. I click on save images. It brought a web page. So it's a web file. It will not, my Power BI might not see it as an image. But when I right click this one, then save images. So you can see that it's a JPEG. JPEG is an image file. So once I'm able to pick my image, I save it. Then I can go to Power BI. I go to Power BI to my background. Okay. Notice that the options that are available when I click on this chart are not the same option when I click out. So when I click out on this Canva itself, the option that I want to work with will then be to format that page. So please be very, very observant of which one is active. Is it the page or the chart? If I click on this chart, I will not be able to format the page. So I have to click out. So now I go to the format page, wallpaper. I'm going to remove that one I was using before. Then I pick this one. Then I'm good to go. So because this guy is very bold, I can say, okay, I want to transparent. I want to make it transparent. It's completely wipe it off. So you can see that it's now somewhat better than before. Yes, so that's how to do that. Have I answered your question on that?
Yes. Yes.
Does
I
anyone
have a
have
question.
question about that image?
No, not about the image, but if you want
Oh,
to remove like a table, maybe you made a mistake, you kept a wrong Excel. Like if you want to remove it, how you remove it?
okay, like you have imputed the wrong table.
Yes.
So look at this ellipse sign. Can you see that sign?
Yes.
That three dots.
Yes.
You can always work on your table from that place. You can see that delete from model here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I'm good to
Thank
go.
you.
Let's delete it. Yeah.
Okay.
So Ada, can we continue?
Yes, please, sorry, can you explain what you just explained now? My network is quite bad, so I had to use my phone to be navigating to the system and watching.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So Favor asks that when let's assume that I wanted to import a table or a data set and I wrongly imported or I wanted to import customer table, but I have wrongly imported payment table. So I want to remove customer from my Power BI environment because I have mistakenly imported into my environment. That how can I remove it? So what I said was just click on this ellipse button. That ellipse button, that's the three dots that you have in front of your data set name. So you have more options. Click on it. Then you can see delete from model. Once I click on delete from model and I click on yes, to delete it from the model, to remove it from the environment. Do you get it now? Okay. People, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I think Ada is having issues. So other questions?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so just like how you explained that if you want to copy and paste, right? Is it applicable here?
Ash, yeah, your voice was
Your
breaking.
network
I
is
couldn't
breaking.
put it.
I can't hear you.
Okay, so I was
Hello?
explaining that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes. I think it's clearer now.
Okay, so I said just like how you explained that if we want to copy, like if we want to create another analysis, that we just
Yeah.
copy, just like you copy and paste your pivot.
Okay, okay. In Excel.
Yes. So is it applicable here?
Yeah, yeah. Because you can actually copy and paste. You can actually copy and paste. But because it's easier to drag and drop, so you don't need to copy and paste. But it's possible, very possible. So you can see that I have copied and pasted this, and the same data is also like there for me to use. It's still the same thing. So most times, maybe I want to test how another chart will look like. That's when I do that. So if I want to test out this this same chart, I want to test it in different formats. I would like, okay, which one is more beautiful for it? So I use donut charts. I will copy and paste it again and see, okay, what does it look like when I use this? So you can see, then I can pick, okay, I think this one is better. I think this one is better. So but the same thing applies. Have I answered your question?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Any other question?
I have another one. So like
Okay.
now, if you have like missing data and you want to like
Yes.
on Excel, you can like check the average to like know the data that are missing. Can you do it? Can you also do
Yes.
Power BI like using
Thank you.
Excel functions?
Okay. So, like I said, this data what we are working with at the moment is a clean data. So there's no problem. But let's assume that we have issues like we know that data is bad. You know, when we're importing, we have a particular button that has transform data. That was where I told you that you can use that transform data to clean your data. You can also look at that's the same button here. Can you see this button?
I can't see the button.
Transform data.
Okay, yes.
Transform data also. If you click on it, then you can go to you have something like an Excel. So you can see. So this is where you clean your data.
Oh, okay.
And that it looks like Excel. So you can change across all of your data sets and clean your data sets. But we'll still come back to that. This we have to use a whole like we have to dedicate a whole week to use that feature. So that's why we have not talked about it now. So what we are like fully focused on now is a clean data, how we can analyze when you have a clean data. Any
Please,
other question?
how did you copy it? Did you use copy and
Yeah, copy and paste. Control
control
C
V?
and
Control C and
Control C
control
and
V.
Control V. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. I can also copy
Okay.
and paste. Control C and Control V will do the same thing.
Sorry, which chart is that last one? Which chart is that?
This one, that was the funnel chart.
Is it that one that look like the cone? That cone, this thing that you said that
Yes, yes, the funnel chart. This one.
funnel chart, yeah, okay.
So let's change this color again. I want to change it to another thing entirely. So I'm going to go to the chart. So like I said, for you to to edit a chart, you have to click on it first. If you don't click on it first, you will not be able to edit because something else is active, not that chart. Because there are multiple things on this dashboard. Also, sometimes you might make the mistake of clicking a particular bar and everything will go off. Like it will do something like a filter where every other thing will be off. So just click on that thing that you clicked on again. So just click on it again, then every other thing will come up. So I'm just telling you so that in case you make any mistake, you'll be able to easily correct yourself. So I want to format this chart again, and I'll do it slowly, unlike the other time that I was fast, just like I said. So now I'm going to make this chart active, then I'll go to format your visual. Notice that if I don't click on this chart, that format your visual will not come up. You can see that it's not here. Once I click out, what is active is the sheet itself, the dashboard pane itself. But once I click on any chart, you see that something, format your visual will come up. So this is the chart I want to edit. I'll click on format your visual. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
All right. So if you want to like the general thing on this chart, so you can just click on this general, then you go to your title. So I want to put funnel chart showing payment method by no, not payment method by revenue by payment. So you can see that my title has changed. I can reduce that title by just clicking on this to make it small so that it can be can be good for the eyes. So I can change the font size here. I can change the font color here, text color. So all of these, I can change it to italicized. I can italicize it, I can underline it. Anything that you want to do is just click and drop. You can see background color here. So you can pick on your background color for that title. You can just work on anything. You can left align, you can right align, you can align to the middle, to the center, you can remove the fill, you can remove the underline, you can remove the bold, anything you want to do. Just click and run. That's the title. You can add subtitle, but most times I don't really see us adding subtitle. You can increase spacing so that the spacing between your title and your chart can be wider. You can reduce spacing. That's about that. Different effects for the background of this, not even the background of your dashboard, the background of this chart itself. You can change the background of the chart itself. You can see, you can make it transparent. You can put any kind of color. That's the background of the chart itself. You can put it off. You can put it on. There's what we call border. Border is like tente, like the tip of your chart. So you can put it on. So if I want the border, so you can look at something that is happening. So this rounded corner. Rounded corner means that I want something that is round. You can see that my edges are now round. So if I don't want a rounded corner, I would also say I don't want a rounded corner. So like I said, border is like the tip of your chart. So if I go to general, what was I working with at the time? Come in general effect here. Then visual border. So if I put it off, you see that everything will become rectangle. So that's what I was trying to say. So I want it to like the border should be fine. So I'll put it on. Then you can round the border. If I put the rounded border to 0, it will be rectangle. Consider as rectangle. But rounded border means that I want it to have something like an arc, so that it will be like beautiful. It actually makes your chart beautiful if you have a rounded corner. So I usually put it on 9. Yeah. So it makes chart beautiful. So you can see my color. Then the next thing is you have to also manage the color of your border, because the color of your border must align with the color of the background of the chart itself, so that it will not be off. Imagine that you are using the same color of your chart. Let's assume I'm using this color now. You can see that it will not show very well. It will not make sense. So the color of the border must also make sense. Then I'm going to go back to the visual of the chart itself. I'm going to go to color. So I want to change the color to something else. So I'm going to change it to this. You can see that the background does not match the color. It doesn't look really pleasing to the eye. So I'm going to go back to this place, change the background of the chart itself. I'm going to change the background of the chart itself. So I don't want that. I want something darker so that this guy can, show very well. I want something darker so that I want because my charts bars are now darker. So I want something light because dark on light, light on dark. That's the rule of visual aesthetics. Any question on what I've done so far?
Okay, so if you want to like change the shape of your charts, how will you do it?
The shape of the
Yeah,
chart
like the
in terms
square.
of the square, is it this bars or this shape itself, this guy?
Yes, the shape itself.
So what do you want to change it to? To triangle?
No, like there was something I saw on Instagram. Like the corner was a bit, it was not square, but like the person that did the Power
Yeah,
BI shaped
that
it.
was what I was talking about in visual border.
Okay.
It has changed. Can you see it now? So let me use a darker background. Perhaps that's not what you are talking about. Let me use a darker background so that you'll be able to see it clear. So okay. Is this what you're talking about? The edge.
Yeah. Yes, the edge.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So you just go to general, you go to effect, then you see visual border. So you just round the corner so you can see rounded corner. If it is 0, you can see that it's now rectangle.
Yeah.
But as you are moving it to this side, it's now rounding.
Yes. Yes.
Any other question?
Is
Any other?
how do you change, like how do you edit your chat?
The what?
Your chat.
Edit the chart. Is it the axis or the
Yes, yeah.
bars?
No, the header.
The header. Okay, that's the title.
Just like
The
how you,
title.
yes, the title. Yes.
Okay. So when you make your chart active, you go to format your visual, you go to activate to work on the title of the chart, not the axis now. To work on the axis, you go to visual, but to work on the title of the chart itself, you go to general. You can see title here. So that's where you work on it. So if I want to, okay, let me make this, let me make that effect. That effect is too dark. Considering that I'm using a dark, so I want to use a lighter background. All right. Okay. So now, okay. All right. I think that's fine. So I'm going to go to title now. So I can see as I am changing the title. So I want to change it to others chart. Can you see? So I can change, unbold it, italicize it, unitalicize it, underline it, do anything. I can change the color. I can use another color for that one and use another color for the chart, dependent on what I want. That's about that. Have I answered your question about the title?
Yes.
Okay. But for the axis, you go to visual. So to work on the axis, you go to visual, then you can change the bars here. You can change the categorical label here. So dependent on the, what's it called, the chart. If you go to this bar chart, the axis will be different. So you can see it's different from when you are working with funnel charts. So it's depending on the chart you are working with. So you can just click on the chart, then start to play around all of these guys. These guys, see how they are changing, see what is happening, and see how they are changing. That's it. That's one of the ways I learned all of these things likewise. Any question?
Okay, I have another one. So can you explain what
Okay.
legend is? You said it before, I've forgotten. What legend
What?
for legend?
Okay. So look at this guy. So this is a very important, this is a very good place to use legend. So legend is used when there are multiple colors on your charts. So when I have multiple colors now, you can see that on this guy, I said credit card is the blue. So if I remove this legend, what I'm saying is that people, let's assume that, okay, let me remove this legend. If you see this chart, this pie chart, will you be confused?
Yes, I'll be
And
confused
what will make you confused?
because I don't know what the color represents.
Thank you very much. So that's what legend does. So
Oh,
if you have the same color for everything, you don't need legend.
mm,
If I look at this chart now, look at this payment method by revenue. Let's say this one is on it. If I look at this chart, do I need any color to know which one is credit card or debit card?
no,
I don't need color.
yes.
It's already well
Yeah.
explained. But on this guy, he just puts rainbow. Say, am I Noah? Who needed rainbow to understand what God was saying? So that's what legend does. So legend tells you, oh, this is what, this is what, this is what. So that's what I was talking about legend. So you can put legend anywhere, center, right, down, corner, anywhere you want to put it, depending on what you want. You can see top left, you can see bottom, center left, you can see top right card stacked. So you can change the position according to what you want. I can put it off if you want to confuse your enemies. Sorry, your audience, which is not usually our aim because it's good for your chat to be well explained, self-explained in their own. And in pie chart, you can even format your slides. I see that I can change the color. I can change the color to anything I want in pie chart because you have many colors. So you can change the colors. You can even change the spacing, the inner radius to make it. You can see the inner radius. I am increasing it. With the low that make it very small. So depending on what you want, everything. So in Power BI, you can easily work with anything, work around things, and make them big. Have I answered your question? Very well.
Yes.
Olamide, you are not answering. You are not asking any question. Are you? Hope you are good.
Yes, I'm following. It's just to practice
Okay.
and keep practicing and exploring those options.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. 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 You have said the major thing. Major thing is just exploring the options and see what's happening. So now I'm going to use card. Like I said in the last class, cards are used for quantitative variables. So I'm going to use card now. So what I want on this card is, so now I have said revenue by payment method, but I want to know the average revenue. So I'm going to put amount paid, add it there. So you can see that sum is what I have. So sum is telling me the total revenue that I've paid. So I also want to know the what's it called? The average. So I can add another card that would tell me the average. So I'm going to pull the same data, but I'm going to change what I am representing the data with. So you can say I'm using the same data, but here I am using sum, which is total. If you recall that in Excel, we use sum of, but now what I want is average. So you can see that when I pull this guy, but when I pull it here, when I drag it here, there is a drop down menu that I can click here, so I can show value as. If you remember show value as, that we always do in Excel. instead of going back and forth like Excel is just something that you just right click and in Power BI. That's why I said Power BI is, kind of easier than Excel. So I can do the same thing, create card, and like the question was it? Allow me to ask that question. That can I duplicate? Yes, I can duplicate. So here I can then just add minimum. So I can know the minimum that people paid. I can put a maximum on this maximum. So you can see, and I can also format this guy also, just like the way I format the chart. So I click on this, then I go to report, format your visual, call out values, categorical label, general. So this it was in general that we were doing background the other time. So I can just change the background, change the background, change the background, change the background. Then I can also say, okay, this visual, the color value, I want to change the color to this. I want to change this color to this. I want to change this color to this. You can see changing. Like I always say, you don't put a bright color on another light color. Always put dark on light. Always put dark on light, please. So you can see different things that you can show. So you can see that the question I wanted to answer with my dashboard is, where should we focus on in terms of the payment method? So now I can start with, so before we look at the payment method, we can look at the amount that we have paid, that the amount of revenue we have generated for this year is 64.3 million, and the average amount per customer or per, oh, this is payment method. So you can see that so payment is, so we look at payment, what is each payment? So each payment is an order. So an average order is $533. Then for the minimum amount of order, so for an order that has the minimum amount, so the minimum order that people made was $3.4, while the maximum was $9,390. I can also add currency. This guy, come in, click, should be able to add currency. Okay, yes, display units. Okay, 1,000, come in, automatic. Where do I add currency? Wow. Not getting it. Where do I add currency? Yes, currency. Yes. So you go to general data formats, then go to data formats, format option, then you can change the currency. So if your currency is in Naira, you can change it to Naira. If it's in Euro, you can change it to Euro, dependent on, and you can see that as soon as I start doing some things, because Euro has to be in the front, that's why I not bring it to the front. I've been near Euro. So depending on whatever it is you are doing, you can change the currency to whatever it is. So you can see that it's literally easier than what is it called? Excel. In terms of just looking for something and clicking and representing. Unlike Excel that you have to do many things. In Power BI, you don't need to. Any question on this?
Okay, so my question is, instead of um doing the cards one after the other, is it possible we have all these values in a single card? Is it possible?
I think, wait, I've not done that before, but it should be possible. Yeah, I think it should be possible. There's multi-row card. Come in. Yeah, you won't use this thing before. But it should be possible. But most of the time, I for most of my own charts, I've not usually used the one that has multiple. Even when I use this multiple, I think I've used this multiple. It didn't really give me what I wanted. It only gave me something that I had to delete. So I had to do this card multiple times because when I do it multiple times, it gives me the avenue to do. And I know that Power BI is always improving on their work. So perhaps they might, have some additional features already where you can have multiple cards in the same. So you just it's possible. I know
I
they're
don't
always
know. I
updating.
mean, I was thinking if it's if it was possible, I don't know. I think it should be possible because I think that is when probably we can now use the slicer. By the time we filter whatever is going to be want, it just pops up the figure. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
No, like are you talking about the cards?
Yes, for the card.
Okay. I want to understand what you're trying to impact.
Okay, so just like how she mentioned, if a card can carry multiple figures like the sum, the average, the minimum, the maximum. Now, for example, if I put it in
Okay.
a multi card, I don't know. I was thinking I should be
Yeah.
able to maybe use a slicer. It says a slicer is when you filter now, Abby. Abby,
Yes.
I should be able to use a slicer in terms of when I want to check for the instead of me putting just like how you put it for here. I don't know.
Mhm.
I should be able to click on the slicer and okay, just select for some and some pops up.
Okay. Oh, it will not work that way. You know why it will not
Okay.
work? Slicer is made from categorical variables. Now I
Okay.
mentioned it that time.
Yeah.
So you would not say that on your slicer, the first level is sum, the next one is average. It will not work. Average itself is like a description of your data. Average in itself is a description of your data, not a data point. It's like a summary of your data. Minimum is a summary of your data. Maximum is a summary of your data. So each of them, they are descriptive statistics. So each of them is a descriptive statistic. So you cannot put them on a slicer. So a slicer will have a categorical variable there, which you can drill down. So what you can have on a slicer is, so if I say, let's assume that I want to add a slicer of country now. This guy, I'm coming. Where's my slicer? So this is my slicer. So I want to add a slicer, and I want to put in customer gender on slicer. So you can see that I have female. So I have male. What would happen on my slicer is that for female, I will have these same statistics for female. I'll click on male. I will have these same statistics for male. Notice that nothing is happening. Nothing will happen because it is not. They are not on the same table. That's why it's not happening. So that's the work. That's what we want to do next week. In next week class, we're going to join tables together so that if I am doing something in another table, it will be working in another table. So that's what we want to do next week. So that's what Slicer does. Slicer would just give you a snapshot of some categorical levels. So it's not that slicer would give you maybe you have first level, average, second level to be some. No, you can just have a series of such. Then it will now give you okay. When we switch to this set of people, what does all of these statistics look like? When we now switch to this set of people, what does the statistics look like? When we switch to this set of people, what does the statistics look like? Hope I was able to answer your question. Given clarity.
Yeah, you answered my question. But also, just like in Excel, right, when we're using our pivot table, that we're able to
Yeah.
use like three variables at the same time, whereby maybe we want to
Yes.
compare gender across stress levels, like how often you
Yeah.
exercise and what kind, maybe how to exercise and how many times in a week. That's like three
Yeah.
variables, right? But
Yes,
here,
yes.
is it applicable? Because I can only see X and Y. Sorry,
All right.
column and rule. I heard that X and Y axis.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think
Thank
that
you.
X and Y axis is because of I'm using a bar chart or what?
Yes. Thank you very much. So you can, yeah. So, on X and Y, you can actually have multiple things on a particular axis.
Yes, like on the when you're
Exactly.
comparing it maybe to an independent variable.
Yeah. Thank you. So you can actually have that. So I'm going to use, because payment does not have two categorical variables. So let me look at this one. Does this one have two categorical variables? Other item, product ID. No, 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 no. No. I'm trying to look at the one that has two variables so that I can use it. So, okay. So let me click. I'm going to use another dashboard entirely. So now I am on the customer table now. So I want to represent on this chart, I want to represent both gender on x-axis. Then I'm looking at another loyalty tier on x-axis. You can see that I have put two things on x-axis now. Gender and loyalty tier. Then on y-axis, I want to put quantity of product they bought. Come in. Okay, I think I'm going to put it y-axis. All right. So I have two things now. Okay, no, let me use multiple bar chart. Yeah. So can you see? So now I have X and Y and the sum. So this is for female when the loyalty, no, this is not what I want. To have X, Y and value. Yeah. Here. Okay. This is gender by loyalty tier. So this is the cost tabulation. And I want another what is it called? Variable. So I have to want city count of okay. No, I think both of them will be on x-axis. Both of them should be on x-axis. Yeah. Have this on the y-axis. Okay. I'm not getting something right. I'm not getting something. Come. I'm not getting something. Um, um, so this is the chart we have to use. So, so for what we always have is values. So once you have values, you have X, Y, and values. So I think they changed some. That's why I'm here. So we just have X, Y, and values. But now we don't have X, Y, and values. Let's see. Sure. Think I would have to work on it because we're about to finish. Let me work on it, then get back to you. I'll do a video and send to you. So let me do that. Before now, what we always have is Y and values, X and values. But because they've already updated such that you can put the two here and to do the same thing. So there is no values. So I'll just do the video and send it. Thank you for that question. Because we are it's class. So let me just do that and send. Any other question? Any question? So as we are now, everyone can build a dashboard, everyone can format their chart, everybody can put. So every other thing that's just come up is just the questions you want to answer, which we have dealt with that over. So just pick your question, the charts that would answer your question, format your charts. You're good to go. So that's all for today's class. Feedback.
Please, I want to ask. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Please, I want to ask. So, does it have to be? I want to know. Do we have to put maybe a particular variable on x-axis, a particular variable on y-axis? I want to know, is like, does it have to be categorical variable on x-axis, or it has to be on y-axis, or it can be anyone? Anyone can be on x and anyone can be on y. I want to know. I don't know if you get my question.
It's better your it's dependent. Yeah, I think I get your question. So you mean that irrespective of the charts, can any variable stand on the y-axis, any other one stand on the x-axis? Is that your question?
Yes.
Now, actually, it's dependent on your chart. So if I click on this clustered bar chart now, you see that the axis is different from when I click on cluster column charts. This looks like they are horizontal, but this one looks like they are vertical. So the problem then now is that if you use column charts, your bars has to be on x-axis, while the data that you want to put on those bars will be on the y-axis. But if you use clustered bar charts, your bars will be on the y-axis, while the data you want to put on those bars will be on the x-axis. So it's dependent on your data, not just putting anything. Do you understand? So it's dependent on your
Um,
charts, rather. It's
okay,
dependent on
so
your
what
charts.
I'm trying to say is that depending on the charts, is what will
Yes.
determine what should be on y and what should be on x.
Yes.
Okay. And why is usually the dependent variable that is standing alone,
Yeah,
right?
it's also dependent on the charts. Also dependent on the charts. But why is naturally the dependent variable in statistics? Why is naturally dependent variable? But it's actually dependent on the charts that you are working with. So if you have your charts to be something where the y-axis is where those categorical variables will be represented. So let's assume that I pick this now. I pick this bar chart. I'm not using column. So if I put, instead of putting, okay, let me go back to that page one. So if I go to page one, the former chart we were using before, and instead of putting that quantitative variable in y-axis, if I put it in x-axis and drag payments method to y-axis, there will be problem. You can see that there's problem. Now, amount paid is in payment method is in this axis now. I mean, no. Yeah, the payment method is in y-axis. Why x-axis is now having the amount paid. You can see that instead of showing me bars, what is it showing me? Nonsense. So that's the reason. It will show you nonsense because it is expecting the bars to be the categories. But now you are saying the bars are each of the data points. And because numeric has many data points, just like when we're talking about difference between categorical and numeric variable, then because numeric has multiple data points, there are many numbers that can be there. That's why you now have all these nonsense that are just many. But once I bring it back, everybody knows their place. Everybody knows their place. Oh, so everybody knows their place automatically. Because on this, I am expecting the x-axis to have the categories and the y-axis to have the numeric. But once I switch that order, there's problem. So the chart is what determines what is there. And some chart does not require you to put x-axis and y. So if you go to, what's it called now? If you go to pie charts, what you just need to put is the legend and the value. So you put the legend, put your categorical variable to the legend, and your value should have the quantitative variable. That's just in pie charts. But in clustered column chart and cluster bar chart is where you have to bring, look at the way your chart is formatted, then put your data accordingly. Sometimes I also make that mistake where I put it wrongly. So you just reformat. That's it. Have I answered your question? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Any other question? Any other question?
None from my end, so I practice more. Sure.
Okay. All right. So please, everyone should come below. Reality, gender, still confused. Okay. So any other feedback? Feedback from today's class. How was the class? Is it good? Are we all good to go to start practicing?
I think we are good to go.
Okay. What of favor? People can you hear me?
Yes, yes. We're good to go.
Okay. So everything is fine. Good, good, good to go. All right. So thank you very much for attending today's class. I will do that video and send to the group so that everybody can see how we can have multiple data, triple, even you can have 4. on the same chart. It's just to use multiple stack column charts or multiple stack bar charts. So multiple bar charts or multiple stack bar charts to represent it. So I work on that and send to the group so that everybody can see. Thank you very much.